Also, I think if you're up for it, down at the end of the episode or something, we'll play, if you got any new music coming out with or whatever, we'll give you that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll just let it flow. We'll just let it flow.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
All right, let's do it.
Yo.
Elevation Nation. Here we go. We got a great conversation for you all today, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you listen to Elevation Nation. Sam and myself are back with another elevator. Ebenezer Johnson also goes by Ebby, but he also said he gave us permission to come up with new nicknames for him, so maybe something will come up. I don't know, Ebby. We'll see about that, but Ebenezer is a artist. He's a rapper, a producer, actor, and also a dean of a high school. Damn, we're going to get into all his stories. We're going to talk about a lot. Ebenezer, welcome to Elevation Nation. We're happy to have you.
Listen, I'm excited to be here. Listen, I'm excited to be with the other elevators. Let's elevate, yo. Let's elevate.
Let's elevate. Ebby, I'm so hyped to get to know you. Obviously, we have this pretty amazing community here at Elevation Nation of all these elevators, like you said, young people going after their dreams, going after something they're passionate about, and most importantly, just trying to elevate their life and their community a little bit every single day, right? And if we all did that, think about the amazing things we would accomplish and how just incredible the world would be. So I am honored that you took some time out of your evening to join Parker and myself, and we're going to get to know each other. Like I said, we're going to be family by the end of this thing, and so I'm excited. Let's start this thing off. We obviously know you. We did our research. We stalked you a little bit, but the people at home might not know you. So we want to get to know you. We'll call this your elevator pitch, right? Like, give us your 30 seconds. Who the heck are you, man?
Listen, I'm Ebenezer Johnson. I'm a rapper, actor. I'm artist. Listen, man, I'm just trying to elevate. I'm just trying to do things that I feel God is calling me to do. So I'm just, I'm Ebenezer. Listen, I don't know how to describe myself sometimes, because I feel like sometimes putting like one name on yourself is just.
Bro, that's beautiful. And I'll tell you a quick story about that and why I love that answer, right? You just said, I'm Ebenezer. Parker and I have a mentor in our lives. His name is Rich Keller. He's an elevator, came on the podcast. He actually just gave a world-renowned TED Talk the other day all about how you are not, who you are is not what you do, right? And I think all too often we say, I'm a rapper, I'm a dean, I'm a consultant, I'm a designer. We pigeonhole ourselves into these titles that society thinks we are. But you can be whoever the hell you want to be. And that's where we actually came up with the concept with Rich of Elevation Nation. We were trying to figure out what is the value Parker and I bring to the world. And our value is we want to elevate ourselves and other people. And so I love that answer, man. You're just Ebby, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it's not even nothing like, because obviously people are obviously like, hey, you're a comedian. Oh, no, you're an actor. Oh, no, that's the rapper. Like, you can't really just label me to one thing, And I feel like that's unfair because so many people have different types of, arts they're able to do that other people can't do that makes them them. So it's selfish to just label somebody as just one thing, Their name already and what they do just makes up for who they are. So that's just what I think.
Well said. I like that a lot. So, Ebenezer, we ask a lot of people, too. After the elevator pitch, we get to learn a little bit more about who you are. And obviously, this next conversation, this whole entire conversation, we're going to shed light a little bit on who you are. Maybe it won't be in one word or an elevator pitch. It's going to be through the stories, the things you walk us through. But, I'm really curious. We all have, growing up, we all got, dreams, aspirations, things that we try to spend time on as a young person, a young child. For me, I wanted to be a professional baseball player, like many kids out there. And I soon realized. So I used to sit in my mom's car and I would look around the neighborhood. I'd be like, all right, how many kids are growing up in this whole neighborhood? And what are my chances to be better than them at baseball? And soon you realize that the chances are pretty slim because there's a lot more people in the world than the neighborhood. But curious for you, was it always music? Was it always acting from a young age? Like, when did you get into it? How did you get into it?
So it all started when, obviously, I used to play soccer. Well, it's not obvious, but I used to play soccer. I played for a club team called New York Fusion, and when I also played in like middle school. And the dream was, hey, like, we want to play professional soccer, like where I grew up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so that was like our dreams, like, yo, we just gonna play soccer, and it got to a point where it's like we didn't really get to where we wanted to be because obviously you're growing up, you're going to college, and you're going to school, so those dreams tend to fade away. But I used to play in high school at John F. Kennedy campus, and I also used to play at SUNY Fredonia. That's a college I went to, State University of New York. Shout out Fredonia. But yeah, so I played there for 3 years, and like I said, I used to play in a club soccer team. That's where I met Harry. But yeah, so yeah, soccer was the dream, and then I got into acting. Just like, obviously people were just like posting skits. You remember Facebook days? Like, I was on Facebook just posting skits.
I thought you were gonna say Vine, man. I thought you were right to throw it back.
I regret not getting on Vine because the people that were on Vine are still lit right now. So it's like
that's also very true.
Those Vines are so hard to do. 6 seconds, you gotta be so creative, like, and people really was putting in the work, like, So, but yeah, during those days, I was posting like little skits, but I wasn't taking acting seriously. I did a little play in 9th grade, but it wasn't nothing, and then I got to college and I met one of my brothers, actually. My brother. I got his brand on right now, 444 Halo. Shout out Halo. But I met him and we started doing like comedy sketches because people in the school thought we were funny. And, I think we were a little funny, just a little bit. We made people laugh. And but we used to do skits in the college. We're called the Ebjo Show. People know us, and
what kind of skits? Like, what are we talking about? You talking about comedy skits? Like, what kind of comedy we talking about?
We talking like, just like regular stuff that happened. Like when you gotta go take a dump and somebody's over there, and now you gotta wait, like stuff like that. Like, just a little group of stuff, like scenarios. Like we had a lot of content, and that's when I really got into falling in love with like being in front of the camera. So. That's when
so it was a change in vision for you, right? So we went from being a soccer player, and I'll bring up a quick point, something that we love at Elevation Nation. Ebby, we got this concept called mental fortitude, right? And I want to break it down for you because when Parker and I, we graduated college, we met at university as well, and we did what we were supposed to do, right? Like, got good grades, volunteered, did all that stuff, got great jobs out of school. But then we graduated, we started the real world, and we were pretty miserable. And so we got together one week, and we started to think about what is the missing piece? Like, what did they not teach us in school? How to be happy and fulfilled? Why do I feel so empty, right? And that was a hard reality because, again, I mean, Parker was cooler than me. I was like the goody two-shoes, man. I did everything I was supposed to do. I was a tour guide, but I was still not happy when I graduated and had my job. And so we spent some time thinking through it. We came up with this concept of mental fortitude. And this is the thing that colleges and school doesn't teach you, but that we teach on Elevation Nation. And mental fortitude has 3 parts. It's got self-awareness, knowing who you are, your vision, where you want to go, and accountability, how you're going to get there, right? And those 3 things are the key to unlocking your true potential and conquering the real world. And so obviously you knew who you were at one point. You're Ebby, but you're a soccer player, you're an artist, you're a comedian, you're all these things. And as you got a little bit older, that vision changed a little bit, right? And now I'm sure the vision is even different than what it was at school, right? What has it kind of evolved into now?
Right now, it's honestly, because I'm tapped into acting, rapping, I just want to be one of the greatest entertainers, and whatever I can do to make people happy, whatever I could do to make myself happy, my family happy, that's the vision I have right now. You know what I'm trying to say? And also being able to provide for immediate family and immediate friends, you know, because we grew up at a time where poverty still exists and we still have the same people in the same places. And I'm on Elevation Nation because this is just a statement to say that I'm going to elevate along with Sam, Parker, Harry, all of us, you know. So, you know, that's what I want to do. And it comes from the hunger, because when you're growing up, you see your parents working so hard, and it's like sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But, you know, growing up seeing that, you want to take the initiative and try to push harder so that you can take people out of situations that they couldn't. So I want to be an entertainer. I want to be one of the greatest rappers. I want to be one of the greatest actors, you know? And the sky's the limit. Who could tell me I can't do neither of that? You can literally do anything that anybody tells you. Like, nobody can tell you can't do anything. Like, the sky's
There's no
not
top
even the
floor
limit.
to the elevator, man. There's no top floor.
Limit, you know, so, yeah.
You ever watch Willy Wonka? You ever watch Willy Wonka growing up, that movie?
So I haven't, but I hear about it a lot. I don't know.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's this scene in Willy Wonka, Harrison might know this, where they get into this magic elevator, right? And the elevator doesn't just go up and down. It goes left, right, sideways, upside down, backwards. That's what's amazing about Elevation Nation and this mindset that you have. You have mental fortitude and you have the elevator mindset, and I love that about you, is you say it so matter-of-factly. It's not like my dream one day is to try to do all these things. You're like, no, I will elevate. Parker's elevating, Harrison's elevating, Sam's elevating. That's what we do. It's in our blood. We just get better and we improve every single day. And that's what makes an elevator special. And you got that, man. I love it.
I appreciate
that. You know, something, Ebby, that we talk about a lot too is, you know, we could talk about all the good things and like, but I think the piece of being an elevator is being so self-aware about where you're at and what you want. And I think you said it really nicely that, you know, the elevator can go anywhere you want it to go, but also you're the one pressing the buttons to get you where you want to go. And I think when it comes to that, you're limiting yourself as well. You're the one who's the real limiter in where you want to go, because if you can block out all the noise and you really truly believe you can go wherever you want to go, the only person left to hold you back is you, right? And that is the hardest person sometimes to get over the hump of, is, you know, letting down, like, damn, my fears, my doubts, my worries about certain things, and getting over that and seeing through that and truly going after your vision. I think that's sometimes the hardest thing to do.
That's definitely true. And it's like, people don't understand, you know, our mind is one of the strongest. It's not even one of the strongest. It is the strongest thing you have. And if you stop your mind from thinking certain things that you can't do, then what's stopping you? You know, like, literally, what is stopping you? And I think that sometimes a lot of us don't really, you know, look at it. Me, for example, sometimes I don't really look at it. You know, some people tell me like, hey, you could do this. And I just be like, no, I can't. I just limit myself all the time. And it's like, no, you got to get out of that mindset. So that's what I've been practicing. I think it's all about practicing the habits, you know, because you really do have to practice certain things that you want to do. You can't just say you're going to do it. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. You have to practice. You have to put work into it. You know, you have to apply the things. And I tell my friends this all the time. School gave, like, all my friends always say, like, school didn't teach us how to do business. School didn't teach us how to do this or whatever, but school did teach you how to learn. So because you know how to learn, go find the resources to learn what you have to learn. You know,
I respect that.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, and it's something we have to practice all the time. I'm saying it right now, and I'll probably go home and not apply what I'm saying. But the fact that I continuously say it and keep it in my head, and, you know, it's going to change. It's going to change. And it's like, you have to take that next step when you realize you're stagnant, you know? So, yeah, that's.
I like to think that elevating yourself, whatever we're going to call it, elevating starts with you and it ends with you. There's going to be a lot of people and a lot of things that are helping you along the way. Maybe a mentor who's got your side, you know, helping you, you know, navigate certain situations. You got books you can read, YouTube videos to watch. But elevation starts with you. You got to make that decision to put that foot forward, and it ends with you because you're the one who's got to get it to the completion of where you want it to go. And then the beautiful thing about elevation is that once you hit that end spot, you're right back at the beginning. And what's that next thing that you're going to stack? What's that next thing that you're going to elevate? Because that's life, man. It doesn't just end. It doesn't just, you don't just get this goal, this achievement, and you're like, I'm done. Like, what's up with that? No one's just saying that. I mean, most people, right, like, they get to the glory and you don't just stop. Nah, you want more. And that's what elevators are. That's what we got in common.
Like, it's so crazy that you say that because I'm looking at it right now. Y'all know Tom Brady. Listen, I'm not a Brady fan, but that man, that's a crazy man right there. That's what you call elevation. That guy is literally on what, 6 rings, 7 rings?
Yeah. Crazy.
Like,
I think it's
still,
6, 7. I don't even know at this point. It's crazy. Yeah, I think it's 7 too.
He could have stopped a long time ago. He didn't. Cristiano Ronaldo could have stopped a long time ago. Didn't. Messi could have stopped a long time ago. Messi has 7 Ballon d'Ors. Like, and he's still going. You know? That's why these athletes...
He wants that World Cup, which he doesn't have.
I think he's going to get it, though. I think he's
Just saying.
I really think Messi's going to get it, though. That's what's going to establish him as the GOAT, by the way. But what I do have to say, though, like, they didn't limit themselves. LeBron, he's still in the league right now. He's not limiting himself. He's still going. It's like, job is not finished. Why are you stopping yourself? Why are you holding yourself back?
Dude,
job is
it's
not
so
done, you know?
It's so true. And okay, this is why I love podcasting, because Parker and I had all these questions prepared and all this, right? Like, but I knew we were going to hit it off, and we take it in a different direction. We take it where the conversation flows.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I want to ask you a question that we didn't prepare, but something that I think about a lot. And so you just kind of talked about it. They're never satisfied. Elevators are always doing more. They always want to be a little bit better and continue elevating, right? There's no top floor. I struggle with this myself sometimes, which is, do you think, Ebby, that it's both a blessing and a curse to have that mindset, to have this elevator mindset? Because, like, think about some of our friends. Great people, nothing wrong with them, but they're not elevators. And they can do their, little accomplishment, big accomplishment, whatever it is, and be like, all right, I'm good. I can coast. I'm chilling. I got it done. But like us, we barely give ourselves a minute to celebrate. It's like, all right, I just got that song done. On to the next one. All right, we just released over 190 episodes of a podcast, have thousands of listeners. We're not, right? Like, Parker and I don't even celebrate. And we should more. We're trying to get better at it, but it's a blessing and a curse, I think.
Don't lie to the people, man. Just because I don't celebrate with you doesn't mean I sit in my home.
Parker celebrates without me.
Yeah, I sit in my room. I pull my mic and I walk around like, damn right, 185 episodes, baby. We just had Ebby on. Like, that's a celebration. We just had some other guys on. That's a celebration, man. Sam, you got to reprioritize.
I didn't get the invite. Damn.
I'm just saying you got to prioritize. Sorry to answer. I didn't answer the question, but it's a blessing or a curse to be an elevator.
It definitely is a blessing, and it's also a curse. It's a curse because, one, you can burn yourself out. I think a lot of people don't know you do need a mental break at times, I think a lot of the time, no disrespect to, Tom Brady, but, him wanting to not retire and go to the next level and, become a Buccaneer for another year is like, damn, do I have time to be with my family? So it's like, do I want to stop that? It's like, you wanted to take that next level can, affect your personal life. It could affect your interactions with people, so there's that downfall. And I feel like people don't realize that people do need mental breaks. Some people work too hard, and because they work too hard, their relationships with friends get affected. Whether you have kids,
no doubt,
your relationship with your kids could be affected. So, that's the negative effects. But, the blessings that come from it is success, being notable and being prominent and if money is involved, obviously being wealthy, But, there's people that's like, is all of this worth it? Or should I have limited myself at once? But then again, if you take initiative to get help while you're doing that thing, it could help you. So I feel like some people don't, talk to people about what's going on in their lives, or like go to therapy or whatever, which can help them be successful while also dealing with the personal issues. But it's like, if you're not taking that next step to get help to have you be successful while also having a positive effect on your personal life, then you could take over the world.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Elevator, I think 75. Elevator 75, Jordan Gross. He is a counselor. He helps people through mental health challenges, and he coaches people on how to get through some things in their day-to-day lives. He said that, every action has an opposite reaction, something along those lines. That, any decision that you make is always going to have, you're always pulling away from something else. Just because I did this, something didn't happen here. Because I'm doing this now doesn't, means I can't hang out with my girlfriend at this hour, for example. I eat this food, I put on this weight. Like, everything has an opposite reaction. And I think it's a challenge as a young adult, because we're trying to figure out what actions are right for us, what actions are wrong for us. And we're seeing those opposite reactions sometimes for the first times in our life, right? How we spend our time means that we can't do these things. How we show up at work means that we get this end result. And like, we're now starting to see the ramifications of those things. Whereas we're growing up, it's maybe a little different. You got people who can, be there to maybe comfort you or guide you a little bit more. And so I think what you said, and it is a blessing and a curse, but I think it's not just elevators who go through it. I think it's all young adults.
And that's definitely true, because, obviously I work as a high school dean. I'm an assistant dean of a high school, and I see it a lot in, the kids that I work with. By the way, they're amazing kids. You can really see a future in all of them, because all of them are willing to, put in the work. Obviously, there's kids that, have things they struggle with that do affect how they act and can grow up. So, back to what you were saying about, seeing all this in young adults, it's like, yeah, like, I see it all the time. Working in this school is obviously amazing, but, it's hard to see kids do certain things that can have an effect on them, and it's all about trying to figure out. And it's all about trying to figure out what can you do being in this position to try to have them elevate. Try to have them walk out of a situation positively instead of having negative effects on it. Because, for example, like, relationships with friends in high school could get to a level where it's unrepairable because nobody took initiative to, tackle that trauma that went on, because obviously young adults, they tend to use vulgar language to disrespect their friends and etc., which does, burn a hole in people, like, words do hurt. So I feel like young adults have an issue with that, and it does.
So, Abby, let's talk about that, because I really want to learn about this side of you. Right, we talked about how you're an elevator, right? And I mean, that's freaking apparent, man. You elevate the hell out of your day. But I think what makes most elevators unique is we don't just like to elevate ourselves. We want to elevate the people around us, right? And so you see all of this potential in many of your students. How do you help elevate them? How do you show them that they have that potential to be like you?
So it's like, I try to always make sure I let them know that they can do whatever they put their minds to. A lot of kids that I work with, sometimes they limit themselves. Like, I can only do this. If I knew that you can do so many things if you just put your mind to it earlier, I would have been on top of the world. And I'm still going to be on top of the world. But if these kids really take into account that, you can do whatever you want to do and put your mind to, and you can like reach wherever you can go. You take over the world, and that's what I try to instill to them all the time. You know, when they speak negative about themselves, like, I failed this test, I'm going to fail the next one. Like, no, you know, and failing a test can be any type of test in the world. You know, just those little things. I always tell them to always speak highly of themselves, you know. A lot of the time be like, nah, I can't do this. No, you could do it, you know. Nah, I'm whack. I'm probably going to be on the bench next season. No, you can start on the team next season, you know. You can win this game. You know, it's all about changing what they say, because words do matter. The power of the tongue is real. So that's a lot. That's really what I do a lot in the building, and trying to help those students in that way. And also being a figure that I didn't have. You know, I didn't have somebody there to teach me about, you know, how it is being an adult, you know, because some kids just want to be an adult. Like, yeah, I want to grow up. Some kids want to grow up too fast, a little too fast. But trying to teach them skills at an early age will allow them to adapt real easy in the future. So I try to do things like that on a level where it's appropriate.
So I've thought about this, even in this conversation. I've thought about this before too, is like, I remember back to my high school days or even like middle school days, you know, when you have someone like a teacher and they're talking and they're giving, you know, advice to you and perspective to you about things that you should do or don't do, and like maybe things to think about. It's one thing to hear it and you're hearing it from their perspective and the things that they've gone through. But Ebby, I'm curious from your perspective, is there any way you get to the students beyond just the words that you would get up in front of the room and be like, yeah, guys, like, you can do this, like, you know, give your motivational speech? Is there like actions that you can actually do to help these students really feel that they can elevate themselves?
So, like, by actions, like, what do you mean? Like,
I don't know, maybe like putting them in a situation, you know, maybe working together on a project or doing some type of community service where you're actually helping them see the impact that they're making.
Yeah, so
they could make.
Yeah, so I was thinking about a lot of things pertaining to that and trying to do, but, you know, unfortunately, like, you know, you got to go step by step, you know, in the high school system. You know, certain things you can't really connect, you know, the outside with your workspace, so it's hard to even like try to do certain things because there's so many ideas I have, guys. Like, but they do have, you know, a theater art. They have different clubs. They have like different clubs in the school. They have music club, theater club, you know, so it does keep the kids in tune. You know, the music class is amazing. You know, we have shows in the school and the kids partake in that. And possibly because you brought up the idea, I might probably put together a calm segment for the show, you know, for the kids, as long as it's appropriate and, you know, and it's obviously sustainable for everybody, you know, in the school.
You can do so much. I mean,
yeah, and it's like
so cool.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, there's different clubs that we definitely do have for the kids for them to, you know, get what they need with that. But me personally, if or when I do get the opportunity to do that, definitely I would do it. I would love to. I already have ideas.
We know you will, man.
That,
it's in, like we said, it's in your DNA. I got an interesting theory that I want to run by you. So you mentioned earlier, we talked a lot about mindset, right?
Yeah.
How even though you might be hypocritical and you're talking about one thing and you might go home and do a different thing, the more you say it, the more it becomes muscle memory, the more you start to believe it yourself. And I think, if I had to guess, I'd be hearing your story. You're taking such a similar approach with the young people, right? If they hear you, you know, Mr. Johnson, Dean Johnson saying, I can do this, I can do that, you can achieve your goals, you can be anything you want to be, it slowly, even though they might not believe it at first, you hear it enough, it slowly builds up in your mind. And I'd like to give a quick example, getting a little introspective myself. I know we're unfortunately through a computer screen right now, but you can't tell, Ebby, I am not very tall. I'm about 5'8", maybe 5'9" on my dating profile. Yeah. And my dream was to be a varsity basketball player, right? Like, that was my dream since I was a little kid. I used to go to the varsity games. I used to see those guys run out of the tunnel. And so I played freshman basketball. I played sophomore basketball. And when the time came for me to try out for the varsity team, I went to the coach, and I was like, there's no way. Like, I appreciate everything you did for me. I love this program, but I'm just not going to go out. Like, let's be honest, I'm too small. And they said, do you think that the only impact you can have is on the court? I was like, what do you mean? Of course. Like, it's a basketball team. What do you mean? And he's like, do you think the only impact you can have is on the court? And I thought about it for a minute. And I thought about all the other qualities that people have told me I was good at, all my teachers, all my coaches that had kept reminding me, Sam, you're a great leader. Sam, you're good at prepping the team. Sam, your energy is charismatic. You can help uplift our spirits at any time, right? And I thought to all those things, and I went, it clicked, man. It clicked in my head, and I said, I don't have to just be a player on the court. I can elevate my teammates and elevate our team to win from the bench, from practice, from wherever I am. And so from that moment on, I ended up trying out for the team and was able to be on the team. And so that impact that you are having just by telling them to believe in themselves slowly over time, man, like I'm telling you, it happened to me. They will believe in themselves, and therefore they will take action and achieve something that will change the trajectory of their life.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I like how you put everything, because I have a similar story to yours. Like, going into college my freshman year, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna make the team, because I was always the kid that didn't want to run. Every time we had practice, I'll ask coach, like, yo, coach, we run the next practice, like, because I never wanted to run. So, like, I remember hearing that we had to do some, fitness stuff for the soccer team, going into freshman year, and I kept telling myself, like, nah, I can't do this. But it's like, yo, I'm not gonna make the team. But it's like, yo, why are you limiting yourself? It ain't even happened yet. If you really want this, just do it. I ended up making the team. And, as I was playing freshman year, I didn't really get to play. Obviously, you got the seniors there. Shout out for Fredonia that year, 2016. We went to the SUNYAC semifinals, but we lost, unfortunately. It's all good, though. But, 10th grade, I thought I was going to play. Didn't get to play. Junior year, I didn't get playing time as I wanted. I wanted to be one of those players that was always on the field, but unfortunately, things don't go your own way. So my senior year, I just said, yo, I'm hanging up the boots. I stopped playing soccer. But it's like, why would I do that? I think men in general, we have a tendency to, a lot of people, I think we have egos that make us not do certain things, like, oh, because I know I'm probably not going to play senior, or the coach doesn't like me, I'm not going to go next year. Like, what's that mindset? Or why are you thinking like that? Why are you putting your mind that way? Like, what if you have a different impact than not playing? Why are you always on the excuse that, nah, the coach don't even like me? I feel like that's an ego problem with a lot of men. And I wish I didn't have that, because I probably would have played that senior year. I probably would have been an important player that year, but it didn't work the way I wanted to. And yeah, so I mean, but because I've learned and went through those experiences, now I'm able to really tell myself, like, you can do whatever you want, just like we were talking about before. So I'm happy I was able to learn that, and now I'm able to apply it to my job and my friends, and it will help me in my future, hopefully.
I like to tell Sam, and Sam agrees with me on this, is that when you put yourself in a situation outside your comfort zone, or it's a difficult situation to be in, I always think a decision like that is a win-win. You made this decision, you didn't want to play, but now you're able to learn from that decision that you make, looking back on it. You look back on it now, you're like, damn, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about, what a decision can have on, and the ramifications that it has. I think every decision, like, it comes back, bro. Every action's got an opposite reaction.
Yeah, so it's like, sorry to pause you right there. It's interesting you said that, because, when I stopped playing, that's when I was taking an acting class. My junior year, I think it was my junior year in the spring semester. I needed one more class to add, and I added this acting class, and that's when I really got into acting. That's when I was like, yo,
that's how it works, man.
I got to do this. And then that was right off me saying, yo, I'm not going to play senior year. That's what opened doors to me, doing acting and stuff like that. So, yo, like we were saying, I mean, opportunity, like it, just take. I don't know. It's just like when something's for you, and doors is always gonna open because you're a person that always wants to elevate. Everything you do has to just be great. You have to put your all in everything. You can't just limit yourself to not doing your all. Whether it's me being a dean, I have to put my all in being a dean. Me acting, I have to put my all in being acting and doing whatever I do. So I think that's.
I have
So
a quick question just to chime in, if it's all right, Parker and Sam.
yeah, totally.
Sit down, Harrison. What are you doing?
Harrison, I had a good question.
Bro.
You crazy, man?
Yeah, so, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, well, by the way, what's up? I'm Harrison. I'm Ebby's manager. We've been talking a lot about, being a dean and the acting and how, one thing can kind of lead to something else and open up different doors. I know we've been working on a new film, or I should say Eb has been working on a new film called What They Don't See. And Eb can tell you a little bit more about it, but it's like really centered around mental health issues that disadvantaged youth kind of have to face, on a day-to-day basis, and how that affects them growing up and their livelihoods and maybe some bad habits or destructive habits that can kind of be developed over time. So,
And this is perfect, Harrison, because you must think that this is our first podcast rodeo, my friend, because that was our next question where we were taking
Harrison,
this
I was
thing,
gonna
too.
say you stole my damn.
You stole Parker's
question.
thunder.
It was
man.
next. It was like
we got
next.
a
I had
whole script
paragraph.
going on in the background, bro. This ain't our first rodeo, baby, but I appreciate the reminder. That's exactly where we're taking this thing, so I love it. Go ahead, Harry. Finish your thought.
absolutely. I appreciate it. I should know better. You're right. How many episodes do you guys have out by now? Like 200?
Almost 200, man. We're getting there. But you know the flow, man. You know the storyline. So that's exactly where we were going to take this, and I appreciate that nudge in that direction. So go ahead. Finish your thought, bro.
Well, what I was really thinking was just kind of hearing Abby talk and his motivations for being a high school dean, and also how it's kind of led to him and his interests in acting, and how some of those doors have opened up. How, you've been inspired to make this film about, what they don't see, the mental health issues that a lot of individuals face, individuals similar to maybe some of the students that, currently go to the school that you work in, and kind of how, like, what the impact of your film can be on for some of those students, and kind of what those lessons can teach. Really that overlap between, your filmmaking and your job as a high school dean.
Damn, dude, you read that verbatim on our doc. That was
This guy,
perfect.
David.
That guy, man. Love it. Thanks, Harrison.
That's a very great guy right there.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you guys.
But yes, so I am working on a short film called What They Don't See. It's about how untreated trauma causes mental illness and affects the decision making of individuals and the people around them. So I wrote this film like a year and a half ago, because previously I did 2 other films. They were called Back from London, and did films on that, did my own music on that. And then I just wanted to elevate on like trying to do a film that would probably be worth more for people. So I started working on What They Don't See. And, right now what we're doing is that we have a campaign out, and right now we're focused on telling a story that will allow people to open up about what they're going through. So a lot of time when I'm in the school, when I have free time, I work on my own stuff. So I would be working on like the promo video and be editing the promo video. And a lot of kids would stop by, be like, "Yo, what's that? What you working on?" And I'll be working on like, the idea for What They Don't See. And my job with that is to literally for them, have something that they can watch that's relatable, so that they can conquer and get away from some of these traumas that they faced previously. So in the film, we have certain situations, certain scenarios that go on that happen in the high school, and that also happen outside, with family, friends. And what I'm trying to do with that is to show people that there's certain things that happen, and certain traumas and certain things that happen in their lives, whether it's like, death of friends, death of family, not getting that treated, or not putting action into what has happened is not gonna get you anywhere. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me try to rephrase.
No, totally does.
Bro, it makes perfect sense. Because that's what we do on this, man. We do the same thing, right? Your medium is through your music and your film, right?
Yeah, so,
why Parker and I started Elevation Nation was for the same thing. Everyone's got trauma they want to get off their chest, and this is therapeutic,
Exactly. So
you remember that? I asked that question like 10 minutes ago. I was like, how do you teach in different ways than just talking? And it just hit me. It's like you teaching through a film.
Yeah. So
students,
exactly.
And you're making it for them, but it'll apply so much broader than the students that you were showing it to. But think about that. What's beautiful about film is that people watch it and they have their own emotional attachment to each character, each storyline, and they feel it a little bit differently than you would if you were living it in real life.
And it's like, I think
it's awesome.
Exactly, and there's probably certain things that people haven't seen, but they'd relate to it because friends went through it, or it possibly could happen to you. But if you're seeing it and you're able to act on it before it can get worse, it'll be beneficial. Like, for example, back when I was younger, we had somebody in my building who committed suicide. We called, but we're not really too sure about it. But something traumatic happened inside of my neighborhood, and people were really close to this person. So because they didn't get the help they need to be able to get over that situation, it's trauma that lives on and can affect their actions and the way they talk to people. So I think bringing that to light in this film will allow people to prepare themselves if a situation like that was to happen. Because if you don't get that help, it can lead to different mental illnesses. For example, PTSD. In different neighborhoods, so many people get shot, and it's like one little clap, you could be startled a bit, always because you've been around that your whole life. So it's like you think it's all around you. But if you're able to seek that help earlier, it's going to be able to allow you to prevail and get away from it. You got to put in that work, that extra step to be able to cure that. And if you don't, you might reroute and do things that are on the negative side, so.
And how about like the level of understanding that it can create for people who maybe didn't grow up in a harder scenario? So it can show them that, like, what kind of level of understanding can it create for people that don't see those issues.
I like how he said that, because it's like a lot of people also don't understand what we go through, and a lot of the time people say you would never understand. All right, now we're gonna show them why. We're going to allow them to understand. So this is also for speaking to the people that don't really know and want to know about it and want to learn about it. So I like that you brought that point up. And that's the main goal,
Powerful,
I think it's incredible. It's powerful what you're doing, Ebenezer. Like, it just, the way you talk about it, I can feel it through the camera, through the computer, how passionate you are about it. But then also it's just like, it's really cool to hear that you're trying to make a difference in your small community, but even beyond that, whether it's a difference on the podcast right now, or a difference just by waking up every morning and supporting these young adults who are going to be making life decisions and may not be equipped when trauma or things happen their way, because we all know that trauma is inevitable in life. You can't avoid it. It's always going to be there. So I commend you on what you're doing, because I think it's certainly, when we talk about an elevator, that is pure elevation right there. You're elevating not only yourself, but the people around you, and that is the most important thing. So, I mean, on behalf of Sam and myself, dude, that is amazing. And I can't wait to check it out, watch it. You're going to have to send it my way. We're going to have to share it with Elevation Nation, because it is really cool to hear about. But I got another section that we're going to roll into. We got a few more fastballs for you. We're going to throw your way some quick hit questions, rapid fire. That's what we like to call them.
Love it.
Yeah, I think you get what rapid fire means. Sam doesn't always know what it means, and sometimes I don't even know what it means. Sometimes we ask a question and they're like, boom, And then next thing you know, we're talking about that thing for like 20 minutes. Not rapid fire. All right. My first question is, growing up, what is the one song that inspired you so much?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Oh, man. World's Greatest, R. Kelly. So I remember
Wow,
fifth grade.
dude, incredible song.
Fifth grade, my fifth grade teacher, she used to play music in the classroom, and like that song, every time it played, it always hit me. I'm the world's greatest because it's like
I'm gonna climb on mountain.
Yeah, like,
up high.
Yeah,
Damn, I made it, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I respect that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, definitely. You know, I mean, there's obviously other songs too, but that definitely if there was one, that's the first one that just hit me. So,
I love it. That's a good answer. If you said the artist, that would have been maybe problematic, but we can like the song, so that's fine. It's all good. That's from a long time ago, bro. We didn't know back then. We didn't know.
It's okay, but man.
I love it. All right, next rapid fire, Ebby. Parker and I have this concept we call your board of inspirers. People who inspire you, either dead or alive, to just elevate. Who are a couple people that come to mind for you that are kind of on that board of inspirers for you?
I got a lot.
You better say the guy sitting next to you, or he's going to be pretty pissed.
Come on. He's in there. He's in the list. I got a long list. So, I mean, some inspired, definitely, I have a lot of forms of inspirations. Definitely, like, obviously my parents, you know, coming from Ghana, Africa, having nothing and then putting on for your family and having kids and now instilling in your kids like, yo, go out and be great while we ain't have nothing. So definitely my parents. Definitely, should we talk about, like, you know, famous people or
whomever, man, dead or alive, you know him or you don't know him?
Definitely my grandpa. He works mad hard. I'm gonna just throw out Tyler Perry because of what he does with his films, telling stories. Denzel Washington for sure, one of the greatest actors, one of the most disciplined. You know, it's so many people. I don't even know how to answer this question. Obviously, big man Harry right here.
It's incredible, right? Like, you think about all the people that impact you. There's so many.
All jokes aside, though, like his mindset, it's like, you know, and you need people like that in your life, because if you don't have people like that in your life, you're gonna stick in the same place forever. You know, my brothers, you know, Jordan, you know, all those type of people that's closest to me, all of them inspire me. You know, and it's like where I come from inspires me. Like, where am I gonna go if I want to stay in the same place all my life forever? You know, like, you know, those are some inspirations. So I mean, anybody that did good for their families an inspiration. You know, if we're
it's beautiful, man.
You know, so I can't really just who inspires me.
The board can be a big board, man. There's a lot of people.
I don't even know how to explain it. Like, if you're doing good for your family, if you're working hard to try to get to a next level, you inspire me because I'm trying to learn from you.
You're trying to do the same thing, man.
I'm trying to do, and even probably more than that. And it's so crazy. People that inspire you, they're not jealous or hating on you trying to go above them, because that's the goal. You know,
you can elevate yourself while elevating other people, man. That's a beautiful
I'm
thing.
sorry if I didn't pinpoint individual people, but
no, man.
Like,
listen,
like,
it's a tough question.
I heard a few
people.
Yeah, a few, and those are examples of people. Like, you know, I have so many names. You know, and that's just names right there. Everybody inspires me. You know.
So I'll challenge you, Abby. We're not going to give them all a shout out now, but when you're done with this, think through some of those other names that maybe you missed and shoot them a text and tell them thank you. That's one thing that we sometimes forget to do, right?
I like
we
that.
forget to thank those people who always are there and inspiring us. So I'm excited to hear how it goes. You reaching out to those people. We got one more rapid fire for you that I think Parker's going to hit you with.
I was going to say, if you got Denzel Washington's phone number, you can shoot me a text from me too. Be like, dude, I'm a big fan as well.
I'm gonna send him a DM. I know he's gonna reply though. He's gonna reply. He's gonna see Ebenezer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. All right, last question we ask every person who comes on the podcast. This rapid fire question: Is there a book that has influenced you that you love that you would just recommend to someone?
That is a very tough question.
Book, TV show, movie. We already said song, so you can't say that. But anything, any piece of art, because a book is, writing a book is an art. Like, is there any piece of art that you would just recommend to Elevation Nation?
I mean, I don't know if I could say it, but the Bible. I mean, why wouldn't I want to know if I could say it? Of course, the Bible.
Of course you could freaking say that.
Of course I can say the Bible. I read the Bible a lot. And, I used to read the Bible a lot. Now I'm getting into reading it often and really applying, what's in it and listening and learning, because there's a lot of messages in there that, people would think what you're saying is crazy, but then again, it's like, it's been able to teach me things that I can't explain, and obviously other people would relate, depending on if they read it as well. I'd highly recommend reading the Bible for sure, because I wouldn't be able to do certain things if it wasn't for God. God put me in a position to be able to rap, to write, to act, to do anything that I can, because that's what we do,
It's a great answer. Spirituality and religion and whatever you believe in is important.
Exactly. So
I love it.
Sure, definitely the Bible, and that's definitely a book I recommend.
It's a great answer. All right, Ebby, we got our last question, man.
Yeah.
This is a segment that we love. We ask every single elevator to come on and share with us their mental motto, a phrase that they live their life by, something that is who you are at your core. What is your mental motto?
So, something I always say to myself is, I want to stay in a mentality that make a way for yourself, because nobody's going to make a way for you. That's something I tell myself all the time, and obviously there are people that can make a way for you, but you have to stick to the mentality. At the end of the day, you have to stick to the mentality that, no, you have to do this yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. So that's definitely something I always, keep to myself. Not keep to myself, but, apply and try to apply and try to have my friends see it and people around me see it. Try to have positive influence showing so that other people can go out and do the same thing. So
it's an amazing answer, man. I love that segment's so fun because everyone always has a different answer. And so I appreciate you sharing that. And Ebby, thank you for just opening up with us, hanging out with us. I told you we'd feel like family by the end of this thing, man. It's been an absolute pleasure to welcome you into the nation, bro. And you are a true elevator.
We didn't even have time to play the big man. The big man.
We're ending with that. Don't you worry. I just wanted to thank you before we close it out. Right? We want to give Ebby an opportunity to share one of his songs, but I just wanted to say we'll close it out on that. That'll be our outro music. Thank you, man. Like, you are such an elevator. You're a great guy. We are so excited to welcome you into this nation of elevators and connect you to everybody.
Yes.
We're family now. We're all going to crush it and elevate together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate
y'all
so much.
Let's do this thing, man. Let's close it out, Elevation Nation, on that note with one of Ebenezer Johnson's songs. Ebby, give us the title of the song, and then let's play that thing.
Harry, what you want to do? What song you thinking, baby?
Well, we gotta.
What song you thinking, Harry?
So do we want to put on 11:11?
That's what I was telling you. No, like I didn't mean to
wait on that. We'll wait on that.
Yeah, we can wait on that for sure.
And then you had another one coming up on Drop the Heat, right?
Oh, we could have.
But if that was already.
I mean,
Superior.
I really knew he was gonna say Superior. I recommend Superior because
let's do it.
I'm really talking over there, so.
That's Elevation Nation. It's Elevation Nation.
Yeah.
We got Ebenezer Johnson and his song Superior taking it out. Let's hear it, boys.
You want me to play it for you guys?
Play it through the mic.
Are you?
I got you. I got you guys. We're rocking and rolling.
I'm meant.
I
Yeah,
really
I hope.
appreciate this, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I hope
I hope you had
feel
fun,
like,
man.
I feel like I wasn't making sense. Was I making sense?
You were making sense, bro.
Are you sure?
Bro, that's
Dude,
our job. That's what we're
you
here. We're here to
crushed it.
tie the stories together. We're here to ebb and flow and
Dude.
make it all work. You
Are
crushed
you
it. You're
sure?
good.
You
Yeah,
were
man.
good.
I felt like I sounded stupid.
No.
Listen, man,
Nah.
Parker and I have been doing this for a while. We can steer you back on track. We'll take it full circle. We bring up we are
Yeah,
expert
nah,
storytellers
I
now,
like
bro. You're gonna listen to it, and it's gonna make a whole lot of sense.
Nah,
Trust us.
hopefully, God willing, I could come back on here after I show some elevation.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
already
love it.
when I come back here, it's
I
gonna
love
be.
it.
You're
Let's
gonna-
do it.
oh, man.
That's what we
Trust
do, man. We've had
We're
recurring
family,
guests
man.
come on. Oh,
Come
yeah.
on. Just wait. It's coming.
Harry, are you playing it on like a speaker or you can play it on your phone?
I'm getting it on the speaker here, which should come through pretty well through the mic.
I really appreciate you guys for real, man.
Bro, thank
No
you.
doubt,
and
bro.
so, Ebby, while he's pulling that up, I'll kind of tell you some of the next steps. So Parker will edit this thing. It'll probably
Yeah.
get released in a month. We'll text you guys. We'll throw us in a group
Okay.
chat and make sure that we all have each other's numbers. Because, again, I know I keep saying, like, family, but, dude, this is me and Parker's passion. Like, we love all our elevators. Like, you guys are what we live for. And so look through our website. Look through all the other podcasts. Whoever we can connect you with, other artists, whatever it is, like, we'd love to make some connections. And then as we start to grow this nation, we got some exciting things coming up. We're going to do in-person events. We got a newsletter that also gets you and Harrison subscribed to, where we like shout out Elevation Nation. We shout out our elevators, do spotlights on them. And then we got some apparel that's coming out, some streetwear. Like, we're doing dinners and happy hours in New York that we'll invite you to, so you can network with people and meet other producers and musicians. Like, we got a ton of cool shit coming up, and I'm excited that you're part of this crew.
Well, that's really cool, bro. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna slide out to a lot of those things that you guys are doing, share whatever.
Hell
Definitely,
yeah.
we family, man.
We family, bro. I appreciate it. It is. That's the fun part about this, man. How else could you get all four of us together for a conversation unless we had
That's
this
what I'm
podcast?
saying,
And that's
right?
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Man. It's a
Exactly.
beautiful thing.
Nah, what you guys are doing is amazing for sure. Wow,
Thank you, bro.
I'm proud of you guys, man.
We're trying. Like you
Appreciate
said,
that,
it's
man.
a grind. It's a
Listen, man,
grind.
it's a
If it was
grind.
easy, everyone would do it.
What? But now we gotta take the next step now.
We're getting there.
No doubt.
One day at a time.
No doubt.
All right, my speaker is not cooperating, but
It's okay.
You got on your phone? You got on your phone?
Yeah, I got my phone.
Yeah, just play it on the phone through the microphone.
Through the mic, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, it'll come in. It'll come in perfect.
I hear it.
Yeah, put it right up to that thing.
It just went away.
Yeah. Yeah. Big man, not the little one.
Bro.
Dude, your
Bro.
passion in that, like, when you speak, oh my, like, your passion, I can feel it. The entire song, you're bringing it.
Listen, that's
Harry, can you send
fire.
it? I don't know
you
if it's
send
cool or
that?
not. Yeah, can you send it and maybe
Or is
Parker
it out
can
yet?
like get the raw file into the so it just sounds better. I don't know if that's a thing, but that is too good to like have coming through a raspy mic. Like we got to get the legit thing on there, bro. That is
Oh man.
fuck.
Is that on Spotify yet, or that's unreleased?
Yeah, it's released. That song was like a year and a half ago, actually. I dropped it last year though. Last year around this time though. I dropped it last
Is it
year.
on
Dude,
Spotify?
I love the passion.
Yeah, it's on Spotify, Apple Music.
Yep.
Because Parker has like software edit, like sound editing software. Maybe we can somehow figure out how to just
Yeah, you got
throw
the
in
raw
the actual
file for that.
If
I'll
you have
just
like
throw
the
that in
MP,
there.
Oh, yeah.
the MP4 or something.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah,
raw
he got the
file,
word.
yeah.
We got the
I'll send you the wave for that as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. Because then Parker can
Alright,
put
I'm
it in.
gonna
It'll sound really, really good.